if a man brings money to the house, is that not a form of nurture?
Yeah,
it is a form of nurture because that money, it is.
Is it?
Let me give you why I see it a form of nurture. If that money was not there, let me even speak like from a medical point of view. Nurture, nutrient, food. If that money was not there, where would you carry money to eat?
What if money came out from another source?
Some human beings cannot be parents. Some people cannot be parents. Some people are not fit for parenthood. Children should not come near those people, no matter what their gender is.
But my wife will get money past me, maybe because of what thing she do. Let me not marry that woman, Abi.
No, of course you can marry.
No,
In my opinion, Joe, see, let me
if the man is over financially buoyant, but fails in the other part, should he marry a woman?
Of course not.
So now,
You're saying this.
now,
See what I'm saying? Calm down, let me finish. Hi, I'm Ahitabel.
Hi, I'm Embodied.
And I am
Welcome to Truth in Bikinis.
Podcast where we strip down life toughest issues with core truth.
Well, at least the ones affecting the women.
And today we'll be talking about the nurturer versus the provider. And with us today we have two gentlemen. We'll allow them to introduce themselves. To my right is Mr. Ubong Johnny. You're welcome, sir.
All right, it's good to be on Truth in Bikinis podcast. It's good to sit here, Mama.
Thank you.
My young Isabella and Mrs. Ellen. All right, my name is Ubong Johnny. I'm the passionate teacher. I love God so much. And I'm an HR tutor and an HR personnel with the Aftermath Consult. Also the host of Quest to Know podcast. It's good to be here.
You're welcome, sir. And of course, to my left we have Akwawo. Yeah.
It's Aqua Wakban. Aqua Wakban. Thank you for having me. It's amazing to sit with these awesome ladies. Also a podcaster, but first and foremost, I'm a nurse.
You're welcome, sir.
You had to call me the gig nurse, podcaster, writer, voiceover artist, and so many other things. And today, I'm looking forward to this conversation.
All right, so thank you for coming, and all right, let's get on to it. So before we begin, I think we would like to talk about what is and who is a nurturer, and who is a provider. What does it really mean to be a nurturer or a provider? And are these roles, are they biological? Are they like a natural role or the cultural? Or it's a choice that people make? So let's start with Uncle Ubong.
Okay, the question is who is
a provider? So you can tell us about the provider side.
Okay, so the concept, all I'm about to say here, I'm not saying them as a married person. But there are many ways to communicate the thing, either by experience or by information.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak by information and by association.
So help you God.
Yes. Of course, my parents are married for 31 years now. This year we're going to be 32.
Wow,
And
awesome.
of course, I think I can relate so much having a pastor like Pastor Akam. I mean, people around me that have married well and their marriage are doing well. I will speak from those perspectives. So now, the subject of a provider, I think it's a job description embezzled in the whole idea of being a father. It's part of being a father. So when you say a father or a husband or a man, we are talking about someone who is a source, who is a sustainer, who is a leader. So providing is part of the whole idea. So you can't just say that a father is solely a provider. Or also you cannot just say that my mom is solely a nurturer. So a mom is so many things, and amongst all of those things, one thing stands out that he or she is a nurturer or a provider. I would say there is this our video word that used to say, when you call somebody daddy, it means you should daddy.
You should bring it. Okay, that's interesting.
Yes. So people think that the primary responsibility, of course it is, yes, you should provide, but beyond that, there are other things
There's more. There's more, yeah.
That provision is not just limited to,
yes,
let's say, monetary.
And people, when they say providing, they say it's bring food. Meanwhile, the first time I saw my dad in public, my dad was a drummer, a very good drummer, and I looked up to him. But like, can you be a father that can provide mentorship?
Yes, to your children.
Can your children see you as a mentor, a role model?
Yeah.
Can you provide that also? So
there's more.
Yeah, there's so much.
All right,
more.
so let's hear from the girls, the ladies. Yeah.
So in my opinion, I feel that whole talk of, nurturer and provider kind of puts people in the light of men are this and women are this, especially when you're trying to really constrict people. And I don't think people understand that beyond gender, we are so much bigger than just those binary roles that we've been given. For example, now, my dad, he's a provider, but he also has very nurturing characteristics. More than, I would say, my dad is more sensitive. My dad is more of a listener.
Oh, wow.
If I wanted to vent to anybody, I know my dad would be the person I should vent to.
Yeah.
Not exactly my mom. My mom sometimes, well, I know that I can depend for that on my dad. Or if I want to get something or I need money for something, the first person I can ask and I know will give me is my dad. But some people, they can beg and whine their mom and their mom will do it for them. You understand? So I really feel it just really depends.
So you're saying it's not necessarily a natural
I wouldn't say
concept.
I wouldn't say it's a natural concept.
Yeah.
I think it's very taught because primary school, social studies, they are telling you, because if from the day you come out from the womb, you're told this is it, this is it, this is it. That's
After a while, it becomes
it. Because and these things I'm talking about, my father was literally raised in a more homey way. My grandmother was the type to tell him, fold, do this, do that. And true, my dad is the one that taught me how to sweep. My dad is the one that taught me how to fold clothes. And it didn't make him feel anyhow. It's something he just did out of, this is my daughter.
This is how I was taught.
This is how I was taught. I'm going to teach her.
Teach her, yeah.
It didn't make him any less. And even if someone comes and tells him, you are this,
Yeah, man, it shouldn't be cooking.
and that's one thing. When I think of masculinity, I really think of my dad because of that. Because number one, he doesn't let outside influences or ideas of how he should be affect him. Another thing about him, his favorite drink is Fanta.
Okay, which is a woman's drink.
Rich people would
Why?
people are not so shocked. And my dad would drink Fanta so shamelessly. He doesn't like the moment when something is alcoholic and it doesn't have a little bit of sweetness, it's not like anything bitter, too hard for him. He just wants soft stuff. And that's just him.
All right. So let's even hear from Mr. Kwawe here.
Okay, so insightful things they've shared. The thing about when they say it's learned, it's unfortunate that we've grown into like a learning system because everybody's born into it. The society will teach you whether you go to a school or whether you do not go to a school. But I'm of the school of thought that the both parties do the two things.
Yeah.
Men, women provide, men, women nurture. But it's like a job description, right? Maybe this is more of what you do as it should be. Because if we're looking at the context of marriage, I see it like a partnership.
Yeah.
If two people come together to co-found an organization or a startup or whatever it is, there will always be a reason why somebody has to be a CEO. It may not necessarily mean that I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Right? We're equal, but somebody has to give leadership. Somebody has to take responsibility.
Yeah, take responsibility.
Maybe the
You're
CEO
right.
job is to go speak at an event. We can't have two people from one place go to speak. So there'll always be. So the thing is, I'm a Christian, so I fall back to the scriptures and everything. The man was given this job to provide. Right. It was given like a primary responsibility to provide. Right. This doesn't say that the woman doesn't provide, because the woman also provides. Because the funny thing is about this provision is that provision nowadays is often looked at the context of physical provision.
Yeah.
So if you say that your father is the only one that provides, so the support that your mom gives you, is that not provision?
Cooking, is it not provision?
Actually.
Washing
So
of
if you say that it's only your mother that nurtures because she carried you in the womb, or maybe she's doing kitchen chores, the fact that your father held your hands or carry you on his neck or taught you how to jump and all, is that not a form of
But
nurture?
their fathers who did not do it now.
So let's use this classical example they say they don't do. If a man brings money to the house, is that not a form of nurture?
Yeah,
It is a form of nurture because that money, it is.
Is it?
Let me give you why I see it a form of nurture. If that money was not there, let me even speak like from a medical point of view. Nurture, nutrient, food. If that money was not there, where would you carry money to eat?
What if money came out from another source?
No, that's what I'm saying because when I was talking about nurture, I was trying to show you that most of those activities that people say is nurturing. Okay, let me show you an example. Your mom comes and gives you care and puts you to sleep, for example. You will say that that's nurturing. But you can also look at it in the context that that's a provision of a need.
Yeah.
It provides you the security and the love.
Okay.
Your father brings money. You might say that's provision. But is that money that nurtures you, puts you through? Wait. Gave you the best school. Wait. Put you through school. I'm not saying that your father should not be there. I'm just putting you that some of those activities. Put you through school. Gave you the food that made you to grow. Gave you the shoes that you wore. Maybe built a house that secured you from what.
Yes. So that's also nurture.
I agree. But the thing with children is that over the years, we don't care who gave us the money. We care for who. We don't.
No. Let me ask you a question. If people don't care, why do children go on social media and say their father did not pay their school fee? Why didn't wait now? If provision was because the thing is that this thing is like this thing is like food, right? No one alone is good.
Yeah.
You understand? You're not supposed to eat carbohydrates every day. There has to be a balance. But for you to come and say, I don't need carbohydrate. Maybe because, the funny thing, the people that say they don't need carbohydrate are the people who have carbohydrate in excess. Do you realize that? I did not say it's not only school, it's not your money alone I want because you had money. Do you think that I, that slept under the bridge, right, and had to be running around when it's raining, I'm using buckets to fetch water. Do you think I'll look at, if I had a father who gave me money or built a house and put me, do you think I'll say I don't want that money?
That's a different scenario. What I'm trying to say is that
I think both of you are kind of trying. I don't think this is. I think what both of you are saying is correct.
To answer your question.
Both of you guys are correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel that it's a job responsibility that was given to both male and female.
So there is an aspect of biology in it.
Has like more and the woman has more of the nurture.
So we are saying
because
that
of biological component.
Yes. We are saying that we actually, to an extent, believe that there's some natural wiring to a man that makes him a natural provider. Because I actually believe, that the man is more of a natural provider.
But that's the thing, though. It's not one thing I've noticed that it's not every man that can provide or is it not. I'm serious. It's not, and I feel that's another thing I'm saying about people. People are not black and white. There are some women that they will be the shittiest nurturers, like they're the worst mothers, and there are some men that they, as a father, they call them deadbeat dads. They exist.
I'm happy you talked about very shitty women because sorry, I don't know why I'm bringing this. I always have an issue. Do you realize that when Nigerians are celebrating Mother's Day, it's always Happy Mother's Day to all mothers in the world. But when they're celebrating Father's Day, it's always Happy Father's Day to the best dad, the dads that were available. So now, if there are shitty mothers and there are shitty fathers, why do we classify fathers and not classify mothers?
We classify fathers, we don't classify. I feel like
every mother is good. Who is somebody's mother that is blocking somebody's results?
No, there are some. No. See, that is a very valid distinction.
Okay.
Obviously, in this world that we live in currently, there are some very, very unfair things
but
that
they are more with men.
why are they more with men?
No, let me share something. Let me share. Okay, let me tell you why I think it's more with men. When you're given, I'm saying this as somebody who's worked with children, and I'll tell you that there are many mothers that, if they could, which we are now going to see it happen a whole lot because of advancing technology.
Yeah.
Do you know how many women would have given out pregnancy or delegated the responsibility of pregnancy, just like men are deadbeat and delegating the responsibility of provision in their chance?
Yeah, for sure. It happens.
There are so many women that beg their children, even when they are carrying the tummy, they are cursing.
Oh, wow.
So is this your tummy? Now you do me this thing. I would have been here. I would have been there. You get. But maybe because of nature, they cannot
They can't.
they cannot push it away because it's for them to do it. That on the other hand, provision. I sat down, I'm like, oh man, I need to like this child. Okay, my 5 naira is not going there.
Yeah.
You get.
It's
So
self-equivalent.
I feel so. It's
no, because that's what
Yeah, it's
because
the same
if
thing,
because
the same
when
thing.
you tell
Not
people
taking
that there are mothers that are
responsibility.
deadbeats, they will say after all she carried you in your womb for 9 months.
Yeah.
So what if I as a man say after all I carried you in my scrotum for how many years and I finally put it inside of a woman and I raised in my kid. No. Okay, because there's no pain. Okay, because
more than
It's
more than just carrying a baby in your stomach. You know, you're feeding for 2 backaches, crazy. Yeah, it's as if you're sick. Imagine yourself being sick for a very long period of
10
time.
months,
So that's why maybe a lot of people be like, for someone to remove 9 months of your life to something is a lot.
okay, so that means so the thing is that
I'm not
I
saying
gave
it as
you
an
9
excuse.
months.
I'm not saying it's an excuse for
Okay.
any bad behavior.
Yeah.
Nobody should have bad behavior and say because I carried. No, okay. A lot of kids did not ask to be born. They were not asked. They don't want to be born into a life of suffering or born into a family where their mother hated them. And you should not open your mouth as a mother and say I carried you for 9 months. It doesn't
People
make
are
sense.
saying it too.
People are saying it, but it doesn't mean we are not here. We're not here trying to say it's right. I'm trying to
it's
say
wrong.
what I'm trying to say is that this nature thing. And like I said, when you put it like men are providers and women are nurturers, you make it look as if like even the women that aren't doing it and the men aren't doing it, it's like they are still in the same boat. When true, some human beings cannot be parents. Some people cannot be parents. Some people are not fit for parenthood. Children should not come near those people. No matter what their gender is. They are seriously, I don't know if you guys know this show, BoJack Horseman, this woman, she had a son. And she would, like, she smokes. She hates you. She will tell her son, I was beautiful before I had you. She will make him feel guilty for existing.
Yeah.
You understand? His father also had his own wahala. But, like, both of those parents were just a horrible combination.
Terrible, yeah?
Like, so what we're just trying to say is that this nature, what I'm trying to say is this nature-nurture thing, for sure. Sorry, this, provider and nurturer, this thing is more of a social construct at best. Yes, nature has its parts to play, but still, a lot of people can just say, fuck nature, I'll do whatever I want. So it really depends, because a person that is primarily a provider can decide to take that role to just, mother and father his kids. And a woman can decide to father and mother her kids. It happens so many times.
It does.
So, yeah, that's just where I'm coming from.
All right, so let's
Move on.
Yes, we haven't heard from
Let's say it's by choice, just like you said. Though we still had the biological there, because in the beginning, when God created the man and the woman, he said the woman is supposed to be the helpmate. So that makes the woman the nurturer and the man the provider. So culture now they had to follow this concept that God created man as the provider. And with time, it changes and it's now by choice. So let's say from the beginning, it's biology, then to culture and by choice. That's how it goes. Because by choice now, this one can decide, I'll be the provider, this the nurturer. We have men now who are nurturers. We have women who are providers. We have women who are the breadwinners of the family. They provide financially, and then the men...
Women really make that choice.
Yeah, we have women who make the choice.
Yeah, there are women that make the choice. There are women that is out of necessity.
Yes.
And I feel there are more women out of necessity.
Yeah, I think there are more women out of
Because
necessity.
that choice thing, you know why I think that a woman is not wired for it. If you put a woman under that condition for a long time, she will just malfunction.
I feel the same thing if you put a man under that condition of taking all these things. He will not be able to. I think we were created, women and men, we are created to complement each other.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to completely stand on our own. Have you ever heard even if just that single unit of just two parents taking care of a child, most times it didn't even work. I don't know if you guys have heard of it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah,
society, everything just brings into it. So to carry all of that weight on one person, no matter the gender, is just kind of, it will stress out anybody. That's it. So in today's world, should a woman still expect a man to be the main provider in a relationship?
Let's hear from the guys.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Relationship.
Do you think a woman should expect
A woman should expect a guy to be the main provider in a relationship.
What relationship?
whatever relationship?
Friendship,
Or marriage?
Relationship. General relationship.
Brother and sister relationship.
Exactly. You don't understand.
Marriage or relationship
Yes,
between a man and a woman, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Have such relationships.
You know, after the Second World War, where the men of the America, like the US now, were taken to war, and then when they returned, their wives already were in the machineries, working for laborers, getting paid. Men thought that they would lose their place because they couldn't give money again. Meanwhile, I think there is more than giving money. But for the sake of the context of this question, yes. Yes.
Okay.
One of the things that can keep a man's pride is ego.
Okay.
Yeah, happens.
One of the
Happens,
things that can boost a man's authority in the house is that he has money. Let's not play about it.
Yeah.
Let's not joke about it. That is
That is
what makes
able to
Odogu
provide.
in the
Achalugo.
So if you want to say something?
Yeah, so I want to say that I feel that, like you said, to me, like I said, it's more of a man's responsibility to provide.
Yeah.
But then the way this provision thing have gone, especially over the last couple of years, has become a problem.
That's not a problem.
Now, he talked about money. We will always know that people will always have money more than people.
Yeah.
There'll always be more money. Okay, let me use it in the context of a relationship, not a marriage now, because a marriage is like, if we're talking about that, you need money to boost your ego. No matter the money I have, if I'm gunning for you, there will always be somebody that has more money than me.
Okay.
And there's always somebody that has more money than that
The other
person.
person.
that
That's
is
true.
actually
Yes.
gunning.
Yeah,
So I feel that as a man, yes, you have
you
to
have a
provide.
healthy ego.
Right. You should have a healthy ego. When I say based on what you can provide, I'm someone that I believe that everybody should come to the table and tell you that this is
This is
what
what I can do. Yeah.
Is it okay with you?
Yeah,
It's
if
not
not.
okay.
Actually, because
So, and also,
Share the
and
grace.
I feel also that because we've moved provision to money, it's why men are moving crazy.
yes. Oh my goodness.
When a man has money, because of the way society has pinpointed this thing, see, there's this thing that happens that when you tell me that because I don't have this thing, I'm nobody, it's an indirect thing that we assume that if I have that thing, I'm somebody.
Yes.
So, you see this on social media. A man who doesn't have money, that one doesn't deserve love. Right? So, I take that now that I don't have money, and I take it very personal. And I tell you that when I have money, in this
You will
life,
buy
don't-
love.
you people should not.
You
You
will
people
buy
should
it.
not tell me how to. And that's why most of these men are doing what they're doing.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
that's
Tell them that money
Is
is
everything.
Yes.
If you are provider, they tell you that if you are a provider, you should. It's only provider that should have women that can talk when women are talking. So now I don't come turn provider.
Yeah.
Now you want me to talk to one woman. My voice. You won't limit my voice.
Oh
You won't limit my voice. When I
We've
didn't
seen
have
the
money,
reason.
I didn't have to talk to any woman. Now I have money. You won't limit my voice to
no.
one
There's
woman.
no way.
That's a sense.
Okay, this is serious.
So men,
It
men-
is though. It's
men should
an
know that.
epidemic.
They should have a healthy ego.
Yeah.
Please have money, but have money based on your capacity. Then when you also have money, also realize that this provision goes beyond. Let me give an example of my own personal example. I can't classify my father as somebody who had money. Right? But when my father left this world, he kept social capital for me. I walked into offices, big offices. When my dad died, I was still a teenager. But I go into offices, sit in people's table, that I look back, people with portfolio are filling form and I walk in. Right? So maybe that was what he brought to the table. I have phone numbers that I'll just pick and like, hello. And they'll be like, I'll tell somebody I want to do, and like, you know that person? I'll be like, I know the person. Oh. Like, how do you know? Like, I don't know how you knew my father, or I have the number. So it's not just about money as a form. Like you said, mentorship.
Yeah.
Right. Can your child have the emotional succor in you?
Yeah.
So that's a form of because if you say provision and you say money. In fact, it's why they are doing all people are killing people.
Yes.
They are doing it for the money because we are not pushing the other aspect of the provision. So you tell them it's only money. They think money can buy love, will buy family. Because it has bought a house, it will buy a home. So they just keep. Everybody keep buying.
I asked this question in my office one time. I asked if money can buy everything. Somebody said yes. Money can buy anything.
You know the funny thing about this thing? The thing is that, like I'll keep saying, most time people speak from the point of love. Have you ever realized why it is that, for example, I think it was Adekunle Gold that said, money will not bring happiness, but I cannot tell you that. I'll wait for you to find out. Because we are humans. We always want to see it.
Yes.
We want to see it. So you go to somebody and be like, no, I've had money. Money is not making me happy. You're like, okay, drop your own. Drop your own. So,
Let me make
like
money.
you said, that person will tell you buys everything. You know why? Maybe, for example, that person has not been sick. We all know the man that carried money and the child was sick. One of the most powerful men in this country, the child was sick, but you carried your money, you couldn't buy the help.
Yes,
so they tell me where money is buying. Come to the hospital and see people lining up with checkbooks, but they can't buy it. So where's the money that can buy? Why is it that the rich are divorcing? That they can have it.
We can buy love. Why is it not buying
Sometimes
it?
when I have conversation and people say those kind of things, I just smile and pass. You understand? It's a long game. It's human nature that me, I believe that, for example, I can't afford ice cream now. I believe that the day I afford ice cream, my life don't. Say nothing day again after ice cream. But you realize that the day you buy that ice cream,
You realize that there is more. That's true. Seriously.
In regards to what you were saying, I have two things to kind of say. First off, with this thing you were saying about, guys putting the entire value of self in money. It's so sad because between the guys that I would say I would have had conversations with and they're interested in me, and the ones that have money, like they're driving car, they're comfortable, and the ones that don't have that much, the ones that don't have that much always tend to take the cake when it comes to their character. When you reduce yourself to money, it's you, those type of people, they don't really feel they have to acquire anything else. They don't really feel like they have to have sense. They don't feel like
because you told them money was everything.
Yes, we have told them over a while.
they don't have to have sense, they don't have to have any intellect, they don't just want to have anything.
They're not thinking, they're like, there's money, what else do you
I have
want?
everything.
Yeah.
Why should I have to add anything?
Exactly. So, and the annoying part is that they have that belief that women will only, and their mind is very powerful. When you have the belief that women will only want you for your money, if you have money, that's the only that's only when women want
let
you.
let me also flip it a bit. Because I feel that I was having a conversation with someone. He talked about how he had a first date with a guy, and the guy was talking about his sex skills. And the lady was pissed off. What kind of man would do that? And I tell the lady, I'm like, I'm not saying it's appropriate, but I'll tell you that what works for people is what they'll sell.
Yeah.
If he has done it to the first lady, and maybe he could end up with that lady, he'll do it again. We are animals of repetition. Right? So if I am a man and I've thrown money and I've been able to have this girl,
Yeah.
you think when I see the next girl, I won't throw
You won't throw money.
I will. Why do I have to go through?
Why do you have to have a
process?
conversation?
Yeah, for sure. What I'm saying is that when you have that,
Sorry, why I'm saying this is that I know we're talking to men, but it's also essential for women to
So also,
help this ministry.
it's not even just that.
Help
What
this
I'm saying,
ministry.
see, I'm a big person on mindset. If you're sitting down, because it's the same, it applies to women. If you're a woman or you're a girl and you're sitting down and you believe men are scum, it's only scum men that will ever approach you in your life. And if you're a guy that believes all these women, all they want is money, that's the only type of woman you will never see any quality person. If that is what you expect from life, best believe life will
that's
give it
what
to
you're
you.
going to get.
That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And another thing that I was even trying to say was that with this whole idea, people don't really like I said, these guys don't work on themselves, they don't work on their character, they don't work on anything beyond having money because they believe they equate their value towards them just having that money. And it becomes this very, very sad cycle of I can just buy whatever. I remember this one person, he annoyed me. He said something, did something that made me upset. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I blocked him. So he called me with a different line. I was like, why would you block me now? You're overreacting. I said, no, like what you did actually, I really didn't like it and I didn't appreciate it. He now had the mind to ask me like, okay, how much is the problem? Like, you just throw money at me and my emotions, like what you've done had disappeared.
It has worked for him. He has used money to solve somebody's emotion.
He has used money to solve somebody's emotion, but at the expense of him not actually doing inner work or learning anything or changing anything. Probably if he carries that mindset and he keeps like seeing like that, he's only ever going to end up having successful relationships with people that have reduced him to nothing but what's in his
But how
pockets.
about people who have worse characters and yet they don't have the money at all?
Okay, so
That one is different.
let me say this. The thing is that, yes, I know that money has a way to me, I feel money potentiates what you already have, right? It increases it, right? So, I'm not the one to say don't trust a man that doesn't have money. I'll never say that because I believe that people that have their character, be it good or bad.
Yes.
But the thing is that maybe it's the way of the world that the people with that bad character sometimes always end up with the money. Most of the time, let me not say. So it always looks as if. So you see that it started that way. Apart from a few people that were born into wealth, and they had to. Most of these people also used to have bad character. Or like she said, something along the line changed their mindset to have a bad character. Because I know one of my mentors tell me that the issue we have in relationship is that it's this cycle of pain that we're going through. A good guy. Okay, a bad guy hurts a good girl hurts a bad hurts a good guy, a good guy. So everybody keeps...
He just keeps going around.
So he might have been a good person. Don't forget, okay, let me give you an example. So I'm a guy who doesn't have money, and I'm very genuine when I come. In this our present world, do you know how many people take you serious? Right? Yeah. So now you've already told me that my character doesn't count.
You're right.
Because you don't have money.
Because I don't have money.
Right.
So character doesn't count, it's money that counts. So I remove my good character, keep it one place.
So
Then you display the bad one.
So that's why you see children. It's not as if these children did not know that it was good, right? But people, like I said, people will go for what is working.
Yeah.
See, it's that's why even if you're good and you go, let's say for example, you go to a school, the likelihood that if you go to a school that they sought to pass or they do examination malpractice to pass, if you linger there long enough, you start. It's not because you don't know the rudiments of reading and passing your exams, or it is good to. But when you start and look and like, why should I even do it?
Yes, everybody.
Maybe you break the first time and the lecturer failed you and told you to come for sorting. You'll be like, so why did I waste it? Let me just go and follow and sort, let everybody. So that is how those people got to be. Then there are those that were born with it. Oh, okay, are they born? Not really, but they grew with it.
Maybe they were trained.
With it and it turned out to be that way.
All right.
Does being a provider automatically give a man more decision-making power in the relationship?
Yes, in the sense that if he's the main provider and let's say she's not bringing anything to the table financially too, that's the thing a lot of women fought for, like when it comes to feminism, because it became a situation where it could be something healthy but it ended up not being something healthy, where this man has all the money, has everything, hence whatever you do depends on him. And there are some people that are still in that type of situation currently, like I can't go this place because I don't have money to go there. My husband is the one giving me. If my husband says no, it's a no. Even if it's something that's important to you or something, or let's say a situation where he doesn't have now, you're completely at that person's mercy.
Yeah.
So it's not a smart thing to you, especially as a woman, like give your everything in terms of like your full autonomy to a man, because he may be like this today, tomorrow he might be somehow. He can change. It's just like you, just like how you as a child, you're at the mercy of your parents. You understand? Your parents may be very nice, very kind, very loving, give you whenever you need, try their best. Or some people can just have parents that, are extremely strict and are very hard on them. If your parents decide they don't want to feed you, are you eating? No.
All right, so let's hear from Obong.
Biblically, there is no gender with God. Okay. So there is no male or female. That was it. There is no Jew or Gentile. Okay. So I believe that every person that was born to the earth came as a being, not just as a gender per se.
Okay.
They came as a being. So looking at their spirit, they have a sense of purpose. They have why they were created, and it shouldn't be turned down because they are wives, or it shouldn't be stampede because they are just somebody's wives. They should allow to express themselves. There are amazing women like the former First Bank chairman, Biokun something. She's good. Iboko, yeah, Iboko, thank you.
Yeah.
The woman is good. So allowing men to take, of course, it will give men upper hand.
Yeah.
But if that I filled the gas this month and my wife cooked the soup, I will tell her thank you after eating the soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it should be shared. We shouldn't give the men all the responsibility or accord them all of the hail to bring all the money.
Because when it's a corporation, there's bargaining power.
Yeah.
There's that sense of, okay, if this is too hard on me, I have an option.
Yeah.
If it's too hard on you, you also have an option.
Seriously, I have an uncle that the wife, at the end of the month, this man will get to full goods, kill them, stock them in the freezer, prepare like 8 soups, almost for like all of the month. And I've been with them for like 3 years. Or I don't know if they make transfers or so, but I'm so close to them. The woman will send me, Ubon, go and buy things in the market. She cooks on her own and say, Ubon, if you want to give me money, you give me money. I have my own money. And it makes it sweet for me.
Okay, so I want to say that.
The way you're smiling is like you're not.
I want to say that the man is the majority decision maker.
Okay.
Whether he provides the most or he provides the least.
Oh, wow.
That's what I want to say. Now, I'm saying this, like he said, I use an example of a business partnership, right? It doesn't belittle anyone, but there will always be somebody that leads.
Needs to take.
So, okay, let's look at the system of this war, right? It may not sit well with people who may hear this, but the possibility that a time will ever come where women will overtake men in the leadership of this world in terms of majority is less to nothing. Why? Because the system of this world, the policies, is handled by the men. Right. So it's like he talked about the Christianity and the biblical point of view. Everyone is equal before God, but there will be somebody that leads. The angels are equal before God, but he knows that there are people that lead. Now, in the terms of decision making in the family, I don't believe that any man should make himself a detector and believes that his word is final.
Final, yeah.
You're in a partnership with someone. Get. So the input from that person, that's my point of view, should be respected. Whether you're the one that provides the most or whether it is she that provides the most. But there's always going to be a figurehead in a thing. School, churches, there'll always be a figurehead.
Yeah.
You've said it, man and woman are the same, but we know that there's always so.
I know.
Don't tell me the one. But what I'm saying is that in the context of what we have, like in a relationship, in terms of leadership, nature,
On top.
biologically, and my own path as a Christian, the men were given that.
Okay.
Now, I know somebody will say, if you are given that, back it up with your ability
To
provide now.
Yes.
Not even just providing. I feel like the thing is,
family is more than
Now, that is
Yeah.
where this issue of provision, I still have this issue. Now, when they were talking a man that cannot provide for his family, what was the provision about? Was it just money?
Oral,
Or was
social,
it,
emotional.
okay, so I'm telling
spiritual.
okay, let's say if we have
that
5
that
parts.
particular verse is quoted out of context.
No, wait.
A lot.
If we have 5 parts of provision, for example, I'm not saying it's 5
Okay.
parts, but if we have 5 parts of provision and I'm proficient in 4, but not in 1, and let's say that 1 is money, am I a provider?
Sir.
Wait, am I a good provider?
Let me answer.
me, in my opinion, don't have kids if you cannot provide.
Yes.
Let me answer. Any man
Yes,
that can
yes.
provide for his family emotionally, spiritually, socially, and does not have financial power at a time, and is serious with the other 4, just a matter of time. He will get to that. But it won't take more than, you can't tell me for 5 years you don't have
Okay,
financial power.
okay, let me ask you a question. If it means that by virtue of profession, right, for example, that my wife will always earn more than I do, right? Let's, like you said, I'm spiritually strong, I'm emotionally sound and everything. But my wife will get money past me, maybe because of what things she do. Let me not marry that woman, Abi.
No, of course you can marry. No,
In my opinion, don't.
always be
In my opinion, don't. See, let me tell you something. He said something earlier. I just remembered I want to say something. Men tend to be creatures of, like, they tend to follow nature very, very expressively. And one of those things is ego. Ego can be the death of a man. Honestly, and people, and they're not, a problem I see is that a lot of men see
ego is rooted in what they have.
Men see it as a strength. Me, I see it as a weakness. I see it as a poison too that can destroy a lot of. Because you don't even need
just having it. Just having it. Just having it is a problem.
I have never heard, whether dictionary-wise or even in TV, ego being mentioned as a positive thing. It's only Nigerian men that I see like that.
Yes. But do you know that psychologically, if something happens and your ego is taken away, you won't survive?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I talk about ego now, for example, me personally, I want to be someone that earns a lot of money for myself. Or if I do get married and I do settle down, I would want to be with someone that makes more than me, or is on the same level but never beneath me.
You see, this is why I said this stuff. That it's like she said, it's also a form of society projection. Could you believe that in a score of over 5, somebody scores 4 over 5?
Yeah.
But because of how pertinent people are on one
only
part,
one, yeah.
That one is. The reason why I'm saying that.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
It's not because.
If, let's reverse it. If the man is over financially buoyant, but fails in the other part, should he marry a woman?
Of course not.
So now
They're saying the same thing.
See what I'm saying? Calm down. Let me finish. What I was trying to say is that I would not do that for the sole purpose of, I have seen how much ego of that I feel, because a lot of guys will be like this. I'm a man. How is my wife any more than me? How will I be? They carry that insecurity and it destroys. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to say that it's because this man cannot provide for me. If I have enough money, I can even provide for that man. But will he want to accept it? See, guys are very petty with these things. I remember the time I had a power bank. This guy's phone was on 2%, right? He didn't have anything to charge his phone. I said, oh, please use my power bank. And he said no. Because he feels like he should be the one giving. A lot of guys.
This is my thing. If my wife is earning 1 million, I am earning, say, 200,000.
Yes.
Guy, I will find a way to work hard to earn, but for the meantime, that won't last for 5 years.
Okay, so
that won't last. It won't even stand for 3 years.
Let me say this.
But that's what we're saying.
In as much as I enjoy having money, right? But some of the things I consider, right? Some of the things I consider to have superior over the woman I want to marry. Money is inclusive, right?
Course.
But there are other things I would want to be better than her. If only she'll beat me in money. That's for me.
Okay.
There are other things I would prefer and better than her. If only, the only thing where she go beat me,
money.
go be for the money part.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying as a man, go and be broke, go and stretch your leg, let a woman provide. For example, like you said, she may be earning 1 million, for example. Or let's say she earns an amount. Let's say there are people that earn like 5 million a month. And let's say you earn 1 million. That your 1 million is enough. That's what I was saying. When people talk about provision, it's a contextual stuff.
Yeah.
Because there are people that 20 million is provision. You get what they find 20K.
Yeah.
If you just give me 20K a day, you get what they find 200K. So if the money I earn is enough
take care of my
like her. We're mentioning a whole lot of great and amazing women. You may not be shocked that they may earn more than their spouses.
Yes, most likely.
But their spouses may still be the one providing and that's your auntie you mentioned. Your auntie you mentioned, right? I don't know the dynamics of their family,
relationship,
but it could be that the husband is still taking care of the family in terms of maybe paying fees, buying things, and doing what he's doing. So, to me, I feel this thing is an issue of. I feel that like I said, it's about leadership. Somebody must lead. Nature, biology, Bible. give it to the man. Now, also, treat this thing as a partnership.
Yeah.
You may be the focal point. You may be where the thing comes out from. But a river doesn't come out where it doesn't have a source. Know that the people you have around you are the sources of, they should actually be the source of what determines what comes out. So if I come out and I tell you, in my family, nobody goes out by 10 o'clock, for example.
Okay.
Now me talking. But no be me make that decision. It's supposed to be waiting. You understand? Then maybe now me call family
Meeting,
Now
yeah.
me talk. The mistake we have is if you want to be the one that makes it. The one
That finalize everything.
The one that finalize it.
Yes.
That is
So it means that you can actually have a healthy relationship in a family, even though your wife earns more than you.
Everything is about
Why? I'm thinking that you can have that decision. Okay, dear, you earn this much and I earn this much. Can we use mine for this? Why you use yours for this? Then you can keep this part for maybe your.
Chinua Achebe said something.
Yes.
Let me add something. Chinua Achebe said something. I think that was either Things Fall Apart or Arrow of God. One of his characters called his son and said, do you know why when I want to carry my wife's chicken, I seek permission? Not because I cannot carry. I would say this is my house.
Yes.
You understand? You're in the confines of, because maybe in their culture, anything that comes into the confines of your compound
Belongs to
the
you.
owner of the
Yeah.
compound. I would go and carry it. It's in my compound. If you don't like it that way, take it
And go.
out of my compound.
Yes.
But it's a thing of respect.
Yeah.
And courtesy demands that you tell her, please, I want to eat that chicken. Or that's the chicken we want to use. In fact, let the chicken be prepared so that she knows. Because so it's not as if the problem with men is the fact when we talk about decisions like this is when they want to be
It goes.
It must.
It's about
executive,
it.
judiciary,
Yeah.
legislative.
I saw a video by Dr. Miles Maroon where he said the father is the president, the wife is the vice president, and the children are like
The legislature.
Even your children should, at a certain point, your children should start to have a voice.
Yes, yes.
So people, why I think people always frown at men doing decision is that most men want to do it like they are.
Yeah, but
Yes,
think
yes,
that-
I am the
yes,
head.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And the thing is that it wasn't even meant to be like, it's not supposed to be like that, because there is a reason that Eve was added. There's a, like when they say help, it's not just as if it's help. The help aspect, you need this person to
to create a
level
balance.
of strength to help.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Because
So
that-
you kind of need
You
it.
need the person,
You need
yes.
someone that will also help you in that advice level, in that. Because I don't know if you guys hear Pastor Abel Damina. I think he always talks about how the moment he lets his wife kind of really handle finances, the moment he let his wife handle finances, things just got better. Like everything, because she's good in that. She's very skilled when it comes to organizing those types of things. Even when I think my dad is an architect, he did a project for them. When he said, okay, this is how much is going to be paid, he said, okay, go to my wife. Do you understand? Like they made that decision with each other that this is how they want to share, this is how they want it to be.
I think women,
it just
they
really
have-
it really depends on
natural
They have this
But I have a
natural
question.
instinct.
Managing funds.
Yes.
I have a question. So,
Yeah.
like they said, most men don't want a woman that can provide more than them in terms of have the financial capability
Yeah.
more than them. But why do women seek men that could arguably be at the same or at a better level of nurturing? By the context of nurture. Like when I say, why do women like men that nurture even more than them? Maybe could take care of children
Can
better, can cook better, can keep the home better.
You know, once a man
Why?
can say it's 100 husband material.
No, I'm just...
I mean, it's because just like you now, just like this, if you were to choose between a woman that's ticking a lot more boxes than a woman that isn't ticking, like she's just ticking one, then you now see a woman that's ticking a lot more boxes, you go for the one that's ticking a lot more boxes. I think that's just normal human nature. Like, oh, this person has money. This person
But why is it why is it that in most cases when I tick so many boxes, but I don't really tick that financial
red
box?
flag. Red
Why
flag.
am I a red flag when I tick boxes? I'm caring,
red
I'm
flag.
loving, I'm a husband.
Red flag
Why
without
are
money.
you people not?
people want that security. People want.
Well, like I said,
I hope this also gives us a
Yeah.
perspective
Yeah.
why till in this 21st century, in as much as people can delegate tasks, like cooking and the rest of the thing. Because do you know most times if a man comes out on social media and says, I want a wife that can cook, most times they say it's a cake. Is a
It's
cake.
a cake. Yeah, like
Yeah, there's
old
an old school
Yeah,
person.
living in old
In
school,
this
yeah.
world that people can delegate cooking,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
still want a woman that can cook something. In this world, you can
Something
hire
that you
nanny,
can, yeah.
something you
I
can.
mean,
Something
if
you
he
can
wants,
do by yourself.
if he, see, that's the thing. People have their preferences, right? If he wants a woman that can cook, and a woman that can cook wants him to, let them be together. Honestly, it's
so-
no big deal. And it's like if you're on the internet seeing that and you're vexed, it's like, is the man marrying you? Does he want you?
Sha,
Do you
that's
want him?
another thing.
That's
Sha.
the thing.
Why?
Like people to
So
each
the
their
internet
own.
is not even a standard for
But I
anything.
can't marry a
So
woman.
many-
I can't marry a woman that takes advice from the internet.
Yes, the internet
I'm of the
terrible.
opinion that I will marry a very wicked woman, like inherent wicked woman, than marry a woman that takes advice from social media.
Yeah.
Now, my issue is this: if it's an inherent wicked woman, you know she's wicked. You can face her. You understand? You know she
Yes,
stands one
based on
place.
that
So
wickedness.
let me face your wickedness. But internet,
Different
there you follow
opinions.
this one and go this side. Let me give you an example. If a woman is, let's say, if a woman is somebody that stands at maybe one point, let's say you talk about financial capacity. She says, I want a man that earns 100 million. That's what she's won. That's her principle. It's easy for me to please you. Right? It's for me to fight all my life
Just-
to make 100 million.
Yes, meet up.
But do you know what's worse about this social media on? Today they will
Today,
say,
you're
ah,
standing here.
it's
You
supposed
don't
to be
even know
50-50.
what the person
Yes,
wants.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I come into 50-50. Tomorrow they say it's 100-0. So another day they say it's 60-40. So even God says it. If you are wicked, God can use you. At least Satan can use you, even if God no fit. If you are good, God will use you. But if you if you jump on two sides, you are like a boat that has water inside. You are no use to anybody.
I
Yeah.
personally feel that there can be a healthy balance in it. Do you understand? Like, for example, me, like this, most of the things I know is based on TV, my father, my mother, even the internet. I draw from all those things to kind of make a final decision on things. I'll hear something on the internet. It's sounding somehow, but I try to draw from other places to come to my own conclusion, form my own opinion out of it.
That's what I'm saying. There's something called locus of control. It's like a goat when you take her. You need to have way to take her.
internal.
So that even if you tie a goat to a stake, he will stray to go and eat. But there's always something that everybody should have a sieve. That whatever you process,
Yes.
You know what
come
to
and
take out.
even that wicked woman I talked about, she'll hear other information, but she already has a principle that she comes and sees
And hold on to.
Yeah.
Pick the one that holds on to and the one that
yes.
the good thing is that most people on this when you see as they go around doing internet interview, you see that most of these people for example, there was a time that it was trendy that a man should take care of a woman. Don't stay with a man who cannot give you soft life. Very soon they will flip the script.
Yeah.
How can you give all your autonomy to a man? Make sure you have your own.
Yeah.
After the next day, they will say it's 50-50. See, I'm not saying all those advices are bad. They can work for some people.
Yes.
But you as a person,
Yeah.
collect your own and have.
Yes.
If you know you are, my husband must produce 100%. Hold it well.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's about mindset. So that your mindset can point you to 100%
Right
men.
people.
Because
If you are a 50-50 woman, hold it and keep so that you can find your 50.
50-50.
Let it take it now so that this thing that is coming, stand one place.
I'm like,
Seriously.
all right, so thank you so much for the conversation so far. Do you have another question?
yeah, actually, should a stay-at-home wife receive monthly salary from her husband since she contributes to the home?
It shouldn't be a stay-at-home wife. For me.
Yeah,
But there are guys that really appreciate stay-at-home wife. But I think I would do personally, I would like to do purpose with my wife. I would like to fulfill purpose with my wife.
So what if
Other
what if the purpose requires your
Yes,
wife stays
Is
at home?
taking care of
Yeah.
you.
If she wants to now. No, I mean her. Like if she, there are some people that's the life they want to live. They want to stay at home, and that's all. They don't have any ambition outside of that.
Anyway, I think it would discuss it. We will discuss it so that it doesn't ever come up in marriage.
You know, we have very few. I believe I'm called to the office of the apostleship in the Christian ministry, and we have very few preachers in Nigeria that their wife can represent them. Yes, a few to mention. I mean, for one, that stand very outstanding for me. That even if the man is not there, if the wife is there, can represent him. let me not mention. But the ability that the husband is absent, the wife can represent him.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. So I am not in the opinion of
Stay at home.
I prefer I pay all staff to cook the food, do everything. Let me go out with my wife.
Okay.
Even we come back late, there's no food. We enter Mr. Biggs, enter Tantalizer, get food, put it down.
Okay, so I feel I don't subscribe to paying off salary in marriage.
Okay.
Right. Now, like to my understanding, even if my purpose is to run around this world, right? Do you know why they have backroom staff? They look like they don't do anything. But the day your backroom staff misses, right, you realize that something is missing.
Yeah.
When I see men who say that stay at home women don't do anything,
Yeah.
you might be an apostle, for example, and you are climbing the podium, and your child comes out and he's licking feces, let's say in an international conference. So that thing that your wife was not doing in the front of the whole world became visible that was a work. Yeah. So if a woman has to stay, me personally, I don't subscribe to anybody staying at home, except you have reason to stay. But if a woman decides to stay at home to help the family grow, right, for whatsoever reason, which I believe should be an understanding between the two of you, it's your job as a man, right?
To take care of her needs.
In fact, even if she stays, she doesn't stay, it's your job to take care of her.
True.
So if she come and stay, it's your job to take care of her needs.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to do it like salary? my issue is the name, salary. But if you want to do it like payment, it's okay for me. Because I believe that if she stays at home, the clothes she'll be who buy it. It's that same funds that is going to.
See, I think the same thing with Pastor Abasi, that he travels, the wife does not travel like me with him, but she does the back.
So I have a mentor that graduated first class with his wife. Wife first class in first class. But his wife stays at home. He works. He works a kind of job that takes him to the office like 6 and he comes back like 8. Right? They have kids. The wife has to stay and take care of the kids. The wife works from home. But work from home gives and freelancing. It may not pay all the time. Right? So all these things, that's why I say people, it's partnership. Choose your dynamics.
You know what you want and be with someone that wants it too.
My issue is salary, but if that's my salary, stay at home for you.
Please give her salary.
There's already this thing, and I actually feel, I think one of the first feminist movements particularly was to be recognized, like you said, that it may seem like backroom staff aren't doing anything until they stop doing it. So a lot of women were underappreciated. Like they just saw this childbearing thing as one. And one of the first protest movements was like for a week, all the women, every morning, they leave the kids, they go and stand in the village square. All of them from morning to evening, or sit down there, lie down, gist with each other. Let the men come and see whether like what they are doing is so easy, whether there's work easy. One of the things is that it should be recognized as some sort of labor. It should be recognized as work too. Because if you want to pay someone to do it, especially let's say in Western countries, you see that it is per hour. It's a lot of money that it will cost for you to bring someone outside. So you're providing your wife's needs when it comes to her food and her basic needs, but when she wants to do something outside of let me be alive, let me be a living, breathing human being, you get
every man should support his woman.
Yeah, for sure. That's why
I have a big friend that says, every 26th of the month, my wife will receive a set of money. So it's more like a salary.
Yes.
Okay.
I know. There's this
but then
woman.
you also know that there is a man that will not pay his wife like that.
Of course not.
Right? But may give her access to various things.
Yeah.
Right? You get what I'm saying? He could tell her if you have any need.
If it's within his power, if it's within their
the thing is that,
it should be done.
like I said, we are more used to tangible things.
Yeah.
And let go of intangible things, both male and female. Now, for example, there's a kind of mentorship your father provides that may not make sense to you. But if you lose your dad and you look for somebody to mentor you, the day you put that in your pocket and you pay that money, that thing your father would have carried you and you are walking on the road and he would have told you for free under a cool breeze and you people are laughing, you realize it's the same thing with women care. She don't do anything. The day you put money for hand for pocket, come on money, pay for that thing. You will not say that
inside.
that you're doing. So, like I said, it's all about appreciation.
Yeah. Nobody owes you anything, honestly.
You understand? To realize that whether it looks big to you or it doesn't look big to you, that this person is
And in
offering
both
something.
ways, yeah?
You should always be grateful.
female,
You should
both
be
ways.
grateful.
A woman once called me.
As a husband, after eating your wife's food, tell her thank you.
Yes. Even after eating too, still say thank you, yes.
No, a woman complained that her husband used to pay her salary, that though he gives money for feeding, for dressing, the children's fees, and then he used to pay. Then at some point, the husband stopped paying her salary, but he has been providing for the family.
The basic needs.
Yes, the basic needs, and also giving her some money to take care of herself. But the salary itself
Was an issue.
has stopped. So, and she's having a problem with her husband with that.
It depends on what they are.
They should agree. They should have another business.
To each their own. To
I
do
can't
what,
agree.
yeah.
I can't agree to
Sincerely.
say I'll pay you a salary. That's me. I can't. But if you have any reason as my wife to stay away from, personally, for me, at a certain point, it's my own desire. I want to be a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
I wish to, especially in the growing
Yeah,
time
when
of
you're
my
growing,
children.
yeah.
If I have my wife, I would homeschool my children to a certain extent. It's something I personally desire. I want to stay at home and homeschool my children. So if for whatever reason you may want to do it, right, you should talk to the woman. Let the both of you have a parley and know why. Because I believe that when people know why this is happening, because like I said, if it's like for homeschooling sake, and you tell somebody and be like, maybe any of the partners stay at home and they say, I'm not staying. You tell the person that is our children. If you don't stay, for example, this is what it will cost us.
Yeah.
The both of us will work, but will we be able to chase the bill?
Yeah.
If they say yes, if they say no, then we get into an agreement.
All right, so I think that we're coming to the close of this discussion. And I think one of the things we've agreed is that nurture providing is not necessarily a gender-based issue, yes. Even though the men are more crafted for that position. So 70 out of 100, the men are better at it, yeah. So, but it's not necessarily a strict gender role that it should be traditionally, or it's not necessarily a strict thing. Everybody should come together and partner together to make whatever what manner of relationship it is. The idea is to work together to make it
Work, yeah.
Yes, figure out what works for the relationship, and of course agree about it, and then get to work about it. And I think we've come to the end of this, have we?
Yeah, pretty much. Do well to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Yes, we have TikTok now. Follow us.
Yeah,
YouTube.
just
Hit that subscribe button. Like smash it, okay?
Thank you.
And also
to
drop your
our-
thoughts
to our
in the comment
guests.
section.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming.
To Mr. Obong and Mr. Kwao Akpan.
Thank you for
Thank you so much.
coming.
We had fun. I think we are going to do this again. Thank you so much. Bye.